Welcome back to Mexican witchcraft and occult stories. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most eerie and chilling figures in Mexican folklore, El Charro Negro, or the Black Charro. This sinister cowboy is known for his demonic presence and his tendency to make terrifying, life-altering deals with unsuspecting individuals. With his ominous black attire, steely eyes, and otherworldly aura, El Charro Negro is both a symbol of danger and a figure of deep mystery, one whose legend has haunted the Mexican countryside for generations. Unlike many legends in Mexican culture that revolve around ghosts or spirits, the story of El Charro Negro revolves around human encounters with a supernatural entity, a being so terrifying and powerful that it is capable of turning people's lives upside down in a single moment. The Black Charro is often associated with temptation, sin, and demonic forces, and his story is a warning about the dangers of making deals with forces beyond our understanding. We'll explore the origins of the Black Charro, the eerie stories surrounding him, and the dark bargains that he strikes with those unfortunate enough to cross his path. The origins of El Charro Negro. The figure of El Charro Negro has its roots in Mexican folklore, particularly in the rural areas of the country. The term charro refers to a traditional Mexican cowboy, and while cowboys have long been a symbol of pride and honor in Mexican culture, the Black Charro turns this image on its head. Instead of a heroic or noble figure, El Charro Negro represents corruption, darkness, and temptation. The story of El Charro Negro is often linked to tales of demonic pacts, stories in which the devil or a demon takes on the guise of a charismatic figure, offering people an opportunity for wealth, power, or success in exchange for their souls. In this case, the demon assumes the form of a cowboy, often riding a black horse and dressed in an impeccably dark charro outfit. His appearance is so striking and commanding that those who encounter him are often left feeling mesmerized and intimidated. El Charro Negro is said to travel the rural areas of Mexico, often appearing to individuals at their weakest moments. Whether in search of money, power, or revenge, those who are desperate or vulnerable may unknowingly engage with the Black Charro, agreeing to his sinister deals. In return, they are granted their desires, but at a heavy, often deadly price. The Black Charro is not only a reminder of the supernatural, but also a symbolic figure who warns of the dangers of greed, temptation, and dealing with forces beyond human understanding. His tale, though rooted in folklore, continues to capture the imaginations of people in Mexico, and his legend remains as relevant today as it was centuries ago. Encounters with El Charro Negro. Stories of El Charro Negro's encounters are as varied as they are terrifying. Many people claim to have seen him in rural villages late at night, where he seems to appear out of nowhere. His arrival is often accompanied by a chilling sense of dread, and his ominous black clothing and piercing gaze leave an indelible impression on anyone who comes into contact with him. One of the most common elements in these encounters is the offer that El Charro Negro extends to his victims, a deal or contract. It often takes the form of an exchange. Something of great value, such as the individual's soul, is traded for earthly desires like wealth, power, or even love. However, as the legend goes, there is always a heavy price to pay, and those who accept these deals are forever marked. Story 1. The Sinister Bargain. One of the most popular versions of El Charro Negro's legend comes from the state of Jalisco, where a young man, eager to find wealth and power, made the fatal mistake of crossing paths with him. The man, working as a humble rancher, was struggling with poverty and dreams of a better life. One night, while tending to his cattle, he saw a figure approaching on horseback. The rider, dressed in a black charro suit, introduced himself as El Charro Negro. The Black Charro offered the rancher a deal. In exchange for his soul, he would receive all the wealth and power he could ever dream of. Tempted by the promise of riches, the rancher agreed. However, as soon as the deal was made, the man's life changed. He soon found himself surrounded by wealth, power, and a newfound sense of confidence. But the price was steep. As the years went by, the rancher grew more and more paranoid. His wealth came at the cost of his soul, and he realized that he was being haunted by the Black Charro, who would periodically visit him, reminding him of their agreement. The once proud rancher became a shadow of his former self, constantly fearful that the devil would come to claim his soul. It is said that when the rancher died, his soul was taken by the Black Charro, and his body was found in the exact spot where they had first made the deal, surrounded by wealth but spiritually bankrupt. Story 2. The Charro's Curse. Another story involves a young woman named Isabel, who was living a modest life in the town of Veracruz. Isabel was deeply in love with a man who had promised to marry her, but she was devastated when he left her for another woman. In her desperation, Isabel sought out El Charro Negro, hoping for a way to win back her lover. The Black Charro appeared to Isabel one evening while she was walking home, and he offered her a deal. If she were to promise her soul in exchange for the return of her love, her wishes would be granted. Heartbroken and consumed with jealousy, Isabel agreed, believing that the end justified the means. To her delight, her lover returned almost immediately, falling back into her arms. But with each passing day, Isabel began to notice changes in him. He became distant, cold, and cruel, and she soon realized that he was not the same man she had once loved. It was as though he was being controlled by an unseen force. Desperate to undo the damage, Isabel sought help from a local priest, who revealed that her lover had been cursed by El Charro Negro as part of their deal. Isabel's world spiraled into darkness as she realized that, in trying to control someone else's fate, she had trapped herself in a nightmare. The Black Charro, having fulfilled his end of the bargain, left Isabel to suffer the consequences of her deal, her love twisted into something horrific. To this day, Isabel's spirit is said to wander the town, searching for a way to break the curse placed upon her by the demonic Cowboy. The sinister nature of the Black Charro's deals. The Black Charro's deals are always shrouded in temptation. He is not an entity who seeks to grant blessings or favors out of kindness, but instead, his motivations are rooted in sin, greed, and the manipulation of human desires. His very nature embodies the concept of selling one's soul, a theme deeply embedded in both Mexican culture and worldwide folklore. The Black Charro preys on human weakness. He seeks out individuals who are desperate, whether for wealth, love, revenge, or success, and offers them exactly what they desire in exchange for something far more valuable: their soul. In most versions of the legend, those who accept the offer are left with more than they bargained for. Do you believe in the power of temptation, or is it just another cautionary tale? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below, and if you've ever heard of a similar story, we'd love to hear it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more spooky stories from Mexican folklore. Thanks for watching, and remember, some bargains come with a price too steep to pay. Stay safe and keep the mystery alive.